Today we're going to learn how to factor trinomials. We'll start with an easy one. X squared plus 3x plus 2. In order to factor this, we know that we have to have two expressions. We're going to multiply times each other. We do notice that there's a 1 as a leading coefficient right there. So we are going to have x and x to give us a 1x squared when we multiply these together. Now, we are looking for two numbers whose multiplied together give us 2 and whose sum is 3. So basically, we're looking for the factors of 2, which are 2 and 1. And we need the factors to add up to 3, and of course we notice that they do, so that the sum of 2 and 1 is equal to 3. So we certainly have found what we needed, and we would have x plus 2 times x plus 1. And it would not matter if we put x plus 1 times x plus 2. That is our answer. If we want to check this, we certainly could check it. And we probably should, just to make sure you have the right answer. So using the FOIL method, we multiply x plus 2 times x plus 1. And as we check it, you'll notice where the whole idea of the factors of 2 must be equal to the sum of 3 comes from. So using FOIL, we have x times x is x squared. That's our 1x times 1x. We have x times 1 is x. We have 2 times x is 2x, and we have 2 times 1 is 2. Notice that when we did 2 times 1, there was our factors of 2. And notice that we are now going to add our like terms, which is our factors of 2, which is 1x and 2x. And there's our 3x. And notice our answer is equal to the original trinomial, and therefore we know that this is correct. In our second example, just be a little bit harder. We have x squared plus 9x plus 20. And there's our trinomial. And remember, we're looking for two numbers which are factors of 20, but whose sum is 9. So we could list out the factors of 20. And we know that we have 20 and 1. We have 10 and 2. And we have 5 and 4. So as we examine those, we want to see which one of those pairs add up to 9. We can certainly see that this last one, 5 and 4, will equal to 9. So those will be the ones we will use. So going back to factoring this, we'll put down our two expressions. We know we have a 1x squared, so it's an x times an x. And we know that we're going to be using 5 and 4 as our second terms in each of these factors. And that should be our answer. X plus 5 times x plus 4 should be equal to x squared plus 9x plus 20. Once again, we could check. And using FOIL, x times x is x squared. X times 4 is 4x. 5 times x is 5x. And 5 times 4 is 20. Once again, we'll add like terms. Notice 5 and 4 were our two factors. We have to add them because the sum has to be 9. And sure enough, it is. And 5 times 4 was 20. And therefore, this is equal to our original. And we know our answer was correct. We'll make our next one a little bit harder. Now we're going to have some changes of signs, which means we'll have some negatives. So we have x squared minus 2x minus 8. And this makes it a little bit harder because now we're looking for factors of negative 8 whose sum is negative 2. So let's look for the factors of negative 8. And we know that it could be negative 8 and positive 1. But it could as well be negative 8, positive 8 and negative 1. It could also be negative 4 and positive 2. Or it could be positive 4 and negative 2. And those are our possibilities, and we need to see which ones sum is a negative 2. Now we know that if we look right here, we'll see that negative 4 plus 2 is equal to negative 2, and those will be the ones that we will use. So let's write down our two factors. We know once again we're going to have an x times an x because we have a 1x squared. We know we're going to have a negative 4 and positive 2. And once again, the order did not matter. We could have written x plus 2 and x minus 4. And there's our answer. And just to check it, x minus 4 times x plus 2 using FOIL. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. And negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. And there's our factor. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. And the sum of those factors will be the negative 4 plus 2, which gives us a negative 2x minus 8. And that is equal to our original. And therefore we know it's correct. And our last example, we'll make it the hardest one, x squared plus 6x minus 16. We're looking for two numbers whose are factors of negative 16, but whose sum is positive 2. So if we start writing them down, factors of negative 16, we know we could have negative 16 and positive 1, or we could have 1 and negative 16. We could have negative 8 and positive 2, or positive 8 and negative 2, and we could even have negative 4 and 4, or, well, it would be the same, wouldn't it? 4 and negative 4, these are really the same. And those are our choices. Now we need to find out which is the sum, which of these pairs sum is a positive 6. And you'll notice that 8 plus a negative 2 is a positive 6. Therefore, those will be our factors. And we have, once again, x times x, because our leading coefficient is 1. And we have x plus 8 times x minus 2. Once again, you could have had x minus 2 times x plus 8. That should be our answer. We can check easily enough. Let's use FOIL. X plus 8 times x minus 2. X times x is x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. 8 times x is 8x. And 8 times a negative 2 is negative 16. That's where our factors, 8 times negative 2, come from, because they're equal to negative 16. We have x squared. Now let's add up our factors. Negative 2 and a positive 8 gives us a positive 6x and minus 16. Once again, that's equal to our original. And we know that we are correct. And that sums up this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And good luck. And now it's your turn. Factor each of the following trinomials that you see on the screen. If you have any trouble, go back on the screencast and see if that can help you. Good luck, and see you again next time.